Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Walkabout. We took a little bit of a break, just had some stuff going on, like family visiting and whatnot. But, the sun's out, the weather's good, it's getting hot here in Ottawa, so we're going to be back with lots and lots of videos. So just you wait. Anyway, today's Walkabout, this is kind of a big thing. I said this for a long time, is that my opinions don't matter because I don't own a Leica. But I caved a little bit, and I've finally purchased a Leica M mount lens. Yeah. Yeah, no, I had to dupe it a little bit, but look at this thing, it's so small. Okay, so I bought a Voigtlander Nokton Classic 35mm 1.4 2. This is the version 2. And it's so small, like it's tiny. Like with the back on, it seems a bit bigger than it is, but really this thing is ridiculously small. Just to show you in comparison, this is a micro 4/3 lens. This is a 17mm 2.8, and these two things are about the same thickness, really. Obviously, this does have autofocus and whatnot, but this thing, it's ridiculously small. And then I had to wait a week for the adapter to come in because I could not get an adapter anywhere locally, so I had to order it, and it took a while to ship from like K&F Concept because I spent like a decent chunk of change on this lens, and I did not have a lot of money left over to buy a really fancy adapter, so I just bought a really low-end dumb adapter. And maybe at some point in the future, I've heard really good things about the Voigtlander adapters, so maybe I'll get one of those so I can close focus and whatnot. But anyway, it's enough talk. Let's jump right in. Let's take this outside and take some pictures. We're going to be mounting this on the Nikon ZF, which I was going to pick up, and then I realized it's filming me, so that's what we're going to use. And we're going to go outside, take some pictures, and we'll get some like first impressions on this lens. But truth be told, I've had this adapter now for a day, so I really only have had the shot to take maybe 3 or 4 pictures with it. So it is fully going to be first impressions. And yeah, let's go take some pictures. And now here's some more samples from the street. So now that we've had a chance to look at the photos, let's talk a little bit about this lens. So I may have mentioned already, it's a Voigtlander Nokton Classic 35 1.4 version 2. This comes in both a multi-coated or a single-coated variant. This is the multi-coated variant. The single coating is less contrasty and I think a little bit more prone to flaring. I just prefer contrast, so I went with this one. The other thing that I wanted to mention about this is that I think that classic is sort of the way the the optical formula is. At 1.4, it has a little bit of glow, but when you stop down to 2, it gets a lot better, and by 2.8, it's virtually gone. It's very, very sharp and contrasty when you're shooting, you know, between like 2.8, 4, 5, 6, 8, whatever. But at 1.4, it's got a little bit of glow, which isn't a bad thing. I think it definitely works sometimes, and it works for certain photos. So it's really cool. I really like how compact and small it is. It's really great to use. The focus feels really nice and damp. The aperture ring is nice and clicky, pretty easy to move, but still, you know, everything feels really good. This feels like one of the, like, it really feels extremely well built. So I don't know, I haven't used any of these Voigtlander lenses or even M-mount lenses before, so pleasantly surprised. The build quality is fantastic. Cosina's doing a fantastic job. So yeah, if I had like some gripes, they would be very small nitpicky ones. The first is that by default, I guess a lot of M-mount lenses don't really focus super close because the rangefinder has issues with that. But and also this isn't a problem when you're shooting on mirrorless, because you can buy close focus adapters that have an extra helicoid on the front, so you can move the lens a little bit further away and give you almost like a macro ability. But by default, the focus range on this goes down to about 0.7 meters, which is around about 2 feet, which isn't a lot. It doesn't give you a crazy amount of separation, so it would be nice to get a close focus adapter, but they're quite expensive, so I'm not going to look into that right away. All in, I paid about 600 Canadian dollars for this lens, along with the shipping and the customs and whatnot. I did buy it used, but it's practically mint. The description said is, you know, it's like very slightly scuffed. There are some like places where there's a little bit of like the paint is lost, but you really can't tell unless you're looking for it. So it doesn't affect the lens in any way. There's no dust or fungus or anything. So I'm really happy with that. Shout out to the seller in Japan from eBay. He sent me like a little handwritten note and a little paper crane. Super cool. Love that. But yeah, overall, this is really cool. Another line of lenses that are really interesting to me are the Typox Samara lenses, but they are quite a bit bigger and a little bit more expensive. So I wanted to start a little bit smaller and try this. Overall, though, I just wanted to try to buy some M-mount lenses because I know that at some point in the future, I will want to get an M-mount body, film or digital. Like, it's kind of hard to say. The film ones are within reach. Like, I could pick one up. It's just that film prices are so high and they're going up and up. I don't really know if I can justify paying that much for a film body right now. But if I really would like to get a digital body if I could. But overall, I just thought if I start buying up some M-mount lenses, then by the time I get to the bodies, I'll have something that I can already use. And I can, you know, put these on my Nikon Z, which is really, really nice to manual focus with, by the way. I don't really use focus peaking. I've just been using the focus magnifiers, but overall, with just like a basic adapter, it's doing really well. I'm quite happy with it. Yeah, that's really it for me. This isn't really much of a review because, you know, these lenses have been out for a while. I'm sure there's tons of people out there who've been using them and they'll tell you lots and lots about them. This is my first impressions. I'm very happy with how it renders. I'm going to keep using it. And yeah, just get used to focusing with that rangefinder. This tab is really fun, by the way. I'm sure, you know, those who have been using these already know, but it's a really, really like nifty way to get your focus, and it feels really good. This is you know, just a fantastic lens overall. Would recommend for the right price. And for me, like, you know, you can get them for cheaper if you're in a place that sells a lot more of these. I couldn't find one locally here in Ottawa, so I had to buy it off of eBay because, and even then it was still a better deal than trying to buy one brand new in Canada, because brand new, I think they go for around 700 Canadian dollars. So, you know, even with all the hoops I had to jump through, I got pretty well a brand new lens for $100 below retail. So overall, I'm pleased, and I'm going to keep using this. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.